Welcome back to our Elections 101 series. Today we're going to be talking about absent voter voting. I'm Bollin and I'm the chair of the House Elections Committee. And with me today is Representative Calley. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Chair. Thank you for having me. I'm very well. I appreciate the opportunity for the discussion. And we heard from both city and township clerks that the Secretary of State had directed them not to check signatures in the last election. What's being done to prevent that same problem with absentee voting going forward?
Well, thank you. Yes, we did hear much about that throughout the 2020 election season. So first, there was a court order following the directive to our local clerks that they were to err on the side of just slight resemblance to a signature. And that lawsuit prevailed in the courts that said the Secretary of State had absolutely no authority to provide the directive, that the directive in training for clerks had to actually go through the legislative process, either by statute, working with the legislature, or through the rules process. Both of those processes are transparent and include the public in both of them. And so that is where the Secretary of State now is pursuing through the rules process on the signature verification. The House has introduced some bills that would require signature training for all of our local clerks. That training program would be through the Secretary of State's office. So we would have uniform training and continuity throughout the signature verification process.
What other steps are being taken to secure absentee voting?
Well, the House has already passed bills through committee and through the House, in fact, that will ensure that we have more transparency and accountability, including stronger penalties for lying on an absentee form, requiring our local clerks to establish a permanent absent voter application list. And it doesn't matter if you're a clerk in a community of 100 or 100,000. We want to make sure that the voter has confidence that wherever they go throughout the state, that processes are being followed and it's similar wherever they go. We don't want to confuse our voters. We want to ensure that every eligible voter has the ability to vote freely, secretly, independently, and securely. And further, we want to make sure that we maintain all the checks and balances within the existing law so that we know elections are being administered properly.
And training is particularly key in our state because our election system is so decentralized. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is. So our local clerks, almost 1,700 of them, are the ones that have the boots on the ground in administering our elections. And so having an assurance that the training programs are up to date and accessible for our clerks, but also that clerks are responsible for completing the training and being accredited so that we can restore public's trust in the process. I think across the state we have 1,700 local clerks and the majority of them work very, very hard and do an excellent job. But we want to provide an assurance that we are running fair and free elections across the state.
Thank you for the information, Representative Bollin.
Thank you for joining me today, Representative Calley. I look forward to continuing our series on elections in Michigan.